Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Good Monday morning to you all. Hope you guys are getting up and feeling well out there this morning and having a fantastic start to your day and week. Got you an update on what's going to happen weather-wise potentially for your Monday. Not a super active day, really, but I would say today's kind of the calm before a pretty active period we're going to see over the next entire work week, the next several days in front of us, where we're going to have rounds of severe storms kind of around the same areas that have seen it. Texas, the south central U.S. area. But I do think as we get a little bit later into the work week, we could potentially see strong to severe storms a little bit further east into areas of like maybe Georgia, the Carolinas, maybe the Panhandle of Florida. So we certainly need to figure that out, but we don't know a whole lot about later this week. We do know a decent amount about what's right in front of us over the next 24 to 48 hours. And we'll give you kind of an update from the Storm Prediction Center on what they're thinking right now. There is a slight risk for tomorrow, pretty big one, and then an even bigger one for Wednesday. So the severe weather chances have actually increased. The confidence for severe weather has increased for our Wednesday. So we'll figure that out. We'll get much more detail tonight on that for you folks in that region. So stay tuned for that. And hope you guys enjoyed the Northern Lights last night. I'm a little jealous for all you folks who got to see it here in South Carolina. I don't know who I'm kidding. I can't even make it to 9 p.m. these days anyway. So me and my family, this is that time of the year when me and my family go to sleep when there's still light blasting in that window you see behind me. And when it gets into around late May, June, July, literally me and my family are in bed when it's still light outside because we wake up so early. We just can't hang. I've always been like that. Even when I was like in my upper teens, I just went to sleep early. I just didn't care about staying up till 10, 11 o'clock or midnight or anything. I don't even remember the last time I made it to the ball dropping on New Year's Eve. It's not that big of a deal to me. But anyways, I'm rambling. With that being said, if you folks have not subscribed, certainly consider doing that. Like the video if you like it. And if you guys got anything that I can pray about or pray over, as always, please put those in the comments below. It gives me an opportunity to pray over it, and it gives others an opportunity to do so too. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people saw those Northern Lights. I wish I had my cursor up, but I got to get better about thinking about that on the fly. But I would say from, if I didn't really hear much about Oklahoma. Missouri was a big state that I heard had enough clearing to see it. Basically from Tennessee to northern Arkansas, I would say all the way through this entire area, if you weren't dealing with clouds, I mean, you could see it. Obviously, the further north you got, the more you could see it. But if you were dealing with clouds, then obviously you couldn't really see the northern horizon, which is where you had to look to see these northern lights. But man, woke up to some crazy, beautiful pictures on Twitter and social media from this. So if you got to see it, sometimes it's a once-in-a-lifetime kind of event. It really is. So hope you guys enjoyed it for sure. This is really the only thing that's worth talking about today, to be honest. There's still a spin up here in Canada that's going to promote some showers and even snow showers from some higher elevations in the Northeast, maybe even the same thing for the Great Lakes region. But this is going to kind of be a piece of energy that you see down here that's going to rejuvenate some showers and storms, and they could be quite intense for the peninsula of Florida a little bit later this morning and this afternoon. We'll talk about that. But the Storm Prediction Center highlights that area for a marginal risk of severe weather in Florida. Everybody else, I mean, you could have some convective showers of rain or maybe even snow up here. So we'll certainly watch. But outside of that, pretty calm weather for the majority of the country. You got a lot of freeze warnings ongoing where it's below freezing out there. You got freeze watches for a lot of Ohio, even several states in western PA and West Virginia, and even into Virginia, where maybe you guys could flirt with freezing a little bit tonight into tomorrow morning. You guys are already very close to freezing, if not at freezing right now. But frost advisories down here into Tennessee. It's very chilly out there this morning, but it's just that time of the year where it can be pretty cold in the mornings, but it warms up pretty good in the afternoons. It don't really stay super cold, but hope you guys are not too below freezing out there where it affects any kind of gardens or planting or anything like that. But the Southeast today, like I said, there's not a whole lot going on. We got some shower activity in North Georgia, the Carolinas this morning. But that will kind of fade away and dwindle away. But as we get a little bit later until around noontime, some big-time storms could fire up. I would say from Gainesville point south, and everybody south of that area could see some maybe some significant storms out here that could produce some hail, gusty winds, maybe a brief tornado, even though the chances are below 2%. But we've seen Florida sort of show out as far as severe weather over the last, I would say, 7 to 10 days. And it could be another day, and tomorrow could be too for Florida, where some big-time storms fire up somewhere in the middle of Florida, and then they kind of drift and kind of maybe set off outflow boundaries, but they kind of drift and kind of refire back up around the state of Florida. I would say the panhandle of Florida won't see near as much, but certainly a nasty weather day for most of central to south Florida today, and we'll zone in a little bit closer for you folks. You know, this is around 11 a.m., lunchtime, and I would say about 1 p.m. the storms really fire up. And it could be anywhere. It's going to be hard to figure out the exact town or city, but if you're vacationing, I would say in Orlando, Gainesville points south, you're definitely going to have a pretty good chance to see some rain and maybe some big storms. Hail is a big threat, frequent lightning, gusty winds, and an isolated tornado, especially anything that can latch onto a boundary or anything out here. But also I want to mention, you know, you got to watch out for flooding too. Some of these could drop a lot of rain. Some of the same areas could get just a storm after storm after storm, kind of what we saw last week in the Fort Lauderdale area. So please be aware of this. It's around 7 p.m. It's still raining pretty heavily, and I think by the time we get to about midnight, things start to chill out in most of Florida. The Northeast today, some showers in the Delmarva area, some showers still drifting around in Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont, and northeastern areas of New York State. You're going to have a re-enhancement of showers and storms. I wouldn't really even say storms, maybe some convective in nature. Showers out there, they could maybe produce a rumble of thunder, something like that, but you know, I think this will more so just be some showers. And then some of these showers could mix with some grapple. It'll look like pieces of hail or sleet, but it's called grapple. It looks like snow, but the structure of it looks more like sleet, if that makes any sense. But these will kind of be just drifting around throughout, I would say, northern PA, all the way to New York State, Vermont, New Hampshire, all the way up to Maine. Just on and off showers throughout the day. Some of them can certainly be heavy at times. By the time we get into later this evening, I would say the only state that's really dealing with it is maybe Maine. But certainly just a kind of showery, higher elevation, maybe some snow kind of day out here for the Northeast. A dreary Northeast Monday to start off your week for sure. Go down here to the South Central U.S. Not a whole lot to speak on. Sorry if the flow of my videos have not been as great the last couple days. I've been struggling to get these videos going in the mornings. It's weird because I'll go into these videos and I feel fine. I feel great. But it's like I cannot get any kind of flow going. So if I seem just everywhere at times, I do apologize. You know, pumping out these videos every single day. Every video is not going to be perfect, and I know most of you understand, but just want to throw that disclaimer or that out there really fast. But we're getting into this afternoon in Texas, Oklahoma, South Central U.S. Maybe some showers drift around, maybe even a storm tries to drift into the panhandle of Oklahoma and far northwest Texas. But pretty quiet day, not a whole lot going on. Some showers might kind of rejuvenate themselves in southeast Kansas, areas of eastern Oklahoma, places like that. And these will kind of drift into the Arkansas area into the wee hours of the morning, all the way until about sunrise as we're getting into a Tuesday morning. And just some showers really starting to get more widespread as we're waking up tomorrow morning. The north central U.S., pretty chill day. But again, you have another day where showers and even some snow showers kind of get fired up a little bit just after lunchtime today. Showers, early this afternoon in northern Wisconsin, the UP of Michigan. Snow could be falling around. Got a couple people up in the UP of Michigan. Y'all could get some late April snow showers up here. It's getting a little bit too late for all this, but here we are. But some of these could certainly mix with snow or just be all out snow, maybe some rain, and they'll kind of, drift into the area. by the time you get into this evening, it might just be snow shower activity in northern Wisconsin. So it'll also be interesting. And then just kind of a streamer of light to moderate rain develops. And trying to forecast exactly where this is going to fall is pretty tough. This is around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning tonight. But you got kind of like an area of rain that kind of gets going here. And this begins to drift into kind of north central Illinois. And we're waking up to some shower activity in Chicago tomorrow morning. Temperatures today up into the 60s, maybe even some 70-degree readings all the way up into Nebraska. A pretty nice day in this region where, you were dealing with some chilly temperatures, especially in North Texas. I would say western areas of Texas, kind of northwest Texas, could still be quite chilly. But the Dallas-Fort Worth area, 60s and 70s for highs. And a beautiful day in the southeast expected, but you're going to be dealing with some showers, maybe even some cloudy conditions in the southeast, though, compared to what we saw for our Sunday. But chilly temperatures remain up here in the Ohio Valley, the Northeast, the Great Lakes region. 40s for highs, maybe some 30s, maybe some 50s. But the Storm Prediction Center for tomorrow, there is a slight risk of severe weather. This includes from Dallas through Waco down all the way to pretty much San Antonio. Not only do you, and you have it again for Florida, not only do you have a severe weather risk, but you have a 5% risk of a tornado. So this is a little bit higher than what we've seen. A lot of these severe weather events over the last week have not been big time tornado risk kind of days. But this isn't either, but we got a 5% risk up. So we need to watch for this, and we'll break this down tonight. There'll be a damaging wind threat of 15% risk of winds pushing 55 or 60 mile per hour. And then the hail risk will be elevated, 15% risk to that 1 inch of diameter or larger hail. And then you got the 10% risk, that hatch risk up for hail pushing 2 inch or diameter or larger in this region, okay? And then for our Wednesday, we have a slight risk, pretty large area, even around the same areas, but it's expanded a little bit more west to east. This does go all the way into like the Shreveport, Louisiana area. We're going to have severe weather for a pretty large, severe weather chances for a pretty large area of Texas for your Wednesday. And we'll dive a little bit deeper into that. But again, in Florida, it's just going to be a stormy first half of the week. Another marginal risk in Florida of showers and storms. Man, I would just die for a nice thunderstorm here in my neck of the woods in South Carolina. You guys in the Eastern Carolinas got some storm activity. Man, from Atlanta to Columbia, we haven't gotten anything. I got a DSLR camera that I've had for about 3 or 4 years now, and I've never really took the time to learn this. It's a Canon. It's a nice camera, and I really want to learn how to use it this summer. But I can't get any practice on it because we haven't had really any crazy weather here in South Carolina. I'm not talking about crazy like I need a tornado outbreak, but just some pop-up showers and storms would be cool to just kind of film and to chase. But it's been really calm here. I would say from the upstate of South Carolina through North Georgia, there just hasn't been anything going on for us. So for a weather junkie like me that enjoys weather and covers a large portion of the country, it's been definitely famine, definitely not feast here in South Carolina. But we'll see what happens later this month and into May. But that's all I got, guys. Like I said, sorry for the mixing up with words or just not a great flow this morning. Some mornings are going to be like that. But God bless all y'all. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll be with you guys this evening. God bless.